Welcome to Memorial Cooking Innovations. I'm Tim Scallon, registered dietitian.
And I'm Manuel Marini, executive chef.
So 4 years ago, Chef Manny, we were working on patient menus at Memorial, and we kept working on this and that recipe, and it occurred to us that when you put a chef and a dietitian together, you can change the way that people look at eating healthy.
Yeah, and always keeping the tradition.
Yeah.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Definitely. And you kept telling me use less cheese.
And it was from those conversations that Memorial Cooking Innovations was born. We started changing the world one bite at a time.
Good job. But we also have fun doing it too.
Yeah.
And that's what, you got into the kitchen, you and I spend more time together, and we both learn from each other.
And I can't tell.
And that's what we want people to learn from us.
Yeah, because you know what? If a dietitian can cook, so can you. So, Chef Manny, tell us what we're cooking today.
Well, today we're going to do a traditional bruschetta, which is a nice French bread, or a ciabatta. We got a nice ciabatta there.
Okay.
And then we're going to add a little bit of basil olive oil with tomatoes and mozzarella cheese. And it's a low-fat skin mozzarella, okay?
I love this.
So then after that, we're going to do a nice citrus dressing, which is going to be fun. We're going to do it with a head of romaine lettuce.
You're going to be surprised at this dressing.
And it's really good because we tried it and it was great. And then we're going to do a nice pasta dish.
Ooh, okay.
So that'll be good, huh?
Pasta's healthy. We just want to make it al dente so that we get a good digestion on that. So, okay, well, so what are we doing first?
Well, let's start with the bruschetta.
Okay.
A little bit of olive oil.
All right.
Something real simple. We're going to do a little bit of olive oil. Then we're going to add a little bit of basil. I had some already julienne.
Yeah, okay.
All right. And then we're going to add a little bit of garlic.
Okay, garlic. Good. That sounds good. You got a good mix going here.
Yes, garlic is always good.
Now, so far, everything that's in this bowl is healthy. Okay.
And then what we're going to do, Tim, is we're going to mix this real good, okay? Nice little flavor with a pinch.
A pinch
of salt and pepper.
We have to watch him on this pinch. A dietitian pinch and a chef pinch.
4 years later, I think I got you.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
A little more olive oil, just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And what I like to do with this, Tim, is that we're going to do our tomatoes real quick, and we're just going to kind of chill it while we do work on the rest of the menu. What do you think about that?
That sounds great.
So I got some nice Roma tomatoes. Wash them really good.
You know what I love about this bruschetta is it's simple, it's direct. There's no hidden agenda here. It just is what it is.
Got some tomatoes. We're just going to throw them in there.
Okay.
Let them marinate for a little bit.
All right. Now, see, you didn't do what I thought you were going to do with those, but okay, that's all right. I'm learning.
Mix it well.
Bruschetta, this is a good, simple recipe, and you can really make bruschetta out of a lot of different things.
Yes,
It's like pizza in that way. You could put different things
on it. We'll let it
huh?
chill for a few minutes, okay?
Okay, all right.
All right, Tim. Now we're going to do the citrus dressing. How's that?
Okay.
Let me get my bowl here. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of olive oil.
All right.
I have some oregano and some fresh thyme there, Tim.
Yep, let me get that for you. Oops, okay.
If you don't mind, you can help me with this. We're just going to take the leaves out.
Yeah, and you've taught me on this thyme just to kind of pull the leaves off the twigs.
Yeah.
You always call them, yeah.
And you could always save that for a stock or just to roast or anything like that. You know
I never thought about that.
If you do that.
So if I was going to make a soup, I could use these stems in the soup and then just fish them out when it's done.
That'll be perfect.
Okay.
We're going to squeeze a little bit of lemon here.
All right.
I'll get you one of these for Christmas, by the way.
Okay, that's on.
Because I know you always say, I got to get one of those. I got to get one of those.
I actually already have your Christmas present. Do you know that?
Really?
It's not too early to start thinking about Christmas.
Is that the Ferrari I've been asking for?
It's not going to be the Ferrari. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, maybe next Christmas.
Maybe next one.
You've been good this year. I don't know if you've been that good. I don't know. Has he been that
4
good?
years, Tim? I better be good, huh?
You've been pretty good.
I got the grapes here. If we want to just pull them out and then cut them, here's the little knife. We're going to cut them in half.
Okay.
I'll give you that. While
I need a little cutting board. Have you got that?
If you can just pull the stem off.
Oh, okay.
Put them out of the stem and just slice them in half.
Oh, you want me to do it without a cutting board. All right.
Sure.
Now, don't do this at home. In India, they actually don't use cutting boards. They do all of their cutting just like this without a cutting board. You want all of these in here?
I sure do.
You know, when we think of a salad dressing, we Americans, we tend to think of a salad dressing as being a liquid, some mixture of oil, vinegar, other liquid ingredients. But when we started working on this dressing, what you're going to see is this dressing is going to be more like what some cooks would call a relish. Is that right?
That sounds good.
But it's still a dressing. You know, a dressing is something that you dress a salad with, and so it still qualifies as a dressing. Did you want all of these grapes?
Yeah, that'd be great, because we tried it.
Yep.
It was good. We
Yep.
didn't have enough. We were playing with the recipe to make sure it's good and healthy. I got a little bit of basil here, Tim.
Okay. You know, I'm getting fatter. I'm not getting fatter, fortunately, but I'm getting faster at cutting things. But I'm still not as fast as you are.
And we're going to add the cranberries. I got some nice dried cranberries.
Okay. By the time I get all these grapes cut, you'll have all the rest of the ingredients in there.
Yeah, and it's pretty simple. Pretty simple recipe. Here, I have my apple. Let me wipe this down a little bit. Remember what I always told you? Always cut the ends off so it doesn't roll.
Okay, so you're making a flat surface. Okay, there you go. Now see, I wouldn't have thought to do that on that apple, but okay. You're making it just so that it's easy to cut.
And we're just going to dice this.
You know, I used to cut onions a lot different than the way you've taught me, but now that I'm cutting them the way you do it,
It's quicker, it's faster though.
It does. It goes a lot faster. And you know, when you read these recipes about how long it's going to, the prep time on them, that's widely variable depending on the skills of the person cooking. But what's so neat about what you're teaching us on this show is that these are things that are easy to do. And if you just follow, you learn, just like I have from Chef Manny, you actually get faster in the kitchen.
Okay, now we mix together.
Okay.
Again, a pinch of salt and pepper. Just a pinch, right?
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Got your cranberries in there.
Got my
the
cranberries.
orange.
Got my orange. Got my grapes.
Yep. This looks beautiful.
Smells good. Okay, so now we're going to refrigerate, okay, Tim?
Okay.
We'll just give it about, 15, 20 minutes as we get everything else
Going to let those flavors
blend together.
Blend together, okay. All right.
You know what, Tim? How about that we start with the bruschetta?
Okay.
Because we're going to toast the bread a little bit, right?
All right, yeah.
And this is wonderful. This is a nice ciabatta baguette.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you also use a French baguette, nice thin.
And just for our viewers, for those of you who don't know what a baguette is, this is a traditional French loaf of bread that's long and narrow. And you can see that this is long and narrow too. It makes a nice little slice that's great for appetizers. This technically is a ciabatta, but they formed it into a baguette loaf. Yeah.
Okay, so we got this. I have my little roasting pan, if you don't mind, Tim. We got the oven out. We're just going to toast these a little bit, okay?
And we talked about, when we were developing this recipe, we talked about a couple of different ways to do this. And one was, don't want to waste. One was that we toast the bread first.
And that's what we're going to do.
Yep.
Perfect.
Right in
Put it there for a
here.
few minutes.
Yep.
The other one was just to slice it and serve it cold.
Yes, that's right. So don't toast the bread. Just put your...
So either way works for me and you.
Okay.
So while that's toasting, Tim, let's start on the salad.
Okay.
What do you think? We gave this just a few minutes.
All right, good.
I got the romaine.
And you've chosen romaine for this, and
And that was a good thing too, though, right?
Well, actually, from a nutrition perspective, romaine lettuce, did you know that romaine has 10 times the beta-carotene in it that iceberg lettuce has? 10 times.
10 times. Unbelievable.
Is
that because it's greener?
It is true. It is because it's greener. What you've got is, with romaine, you have a darker leaf, and for example, an antioxidant called lutein. It's related to vitamin A. And we've learned from the show that antioxidants do a lot of healthy things. One of the things they do is they slow down the aging process. Well, lutein is 7.5 times more in this lettuce than in a iceberg lettuce.
That's really good to know.
So there's a lot of good reasons to choose a romaine lettuce instead of an iceberg.
That's good. One of the things that make sure you wash it good. Set it. Remember how we did the lettuce washing by putting it
Yes.
in a bowl, let it water run, and just let it soak for a minute, and then drain. That's what we did earlier.
Okay.
And we just stuck it in the refrigerator to cool it down a little bit.
Okay.
You know. So we're gonna grab this real quick.
I want
And
to
just
see
to
how you
rearrange
do
it
this.
on the plate. You might have
Yeah.
to take the top one is always there, but you don't really want to waste too much. Something simple to do. A nice little wedge.
Okay.
Perfect.
So it's just a wedge of romaine lettuce.
And if you
All
want to, we're going to pour the dressing, Tim.
Okay.
And this is what makes it really fun. We're going to just drizzle the dressing really
Look at the
good.
color there.
And you know, the holidays are coming.
Yes.
This is perfect when you come when
that's
it comes
beautiful.
to entertain everyone.
Yes.
And they'll enjoy it because you got the crispy of the lettuce, you got the apples, you got the grapes, you got the sweetness, the bitterness from the lemon.
Yeah.
What more can
You
you
know,
ask for?
when you put this in front of your guests, they're going to look at that and think, where in the world did you learn to do that? And you know what they're going to say? On Memorial Cooking Innovations.
I was going to say that.
Oh.
That's good, though. Where? Memorial Cooking Innovations. So what do you think about that, Tim?
That is beautiful. I love it.
If you don't mind, let me give you a rag real quick. If you can check the...
Oh, okay. Yep. I think we're ready.
Okay, beautiful.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me get this out of the way. If you don't mind, let's put it
Yeah.
right here, Tim. Be
Okay.
careful, it's hot. If you don't mind, just put it right there.
Right there. Okay.
Perfect.
Good.
Let me clean this out real good.
Okay.
Now this is where the fun part comes.
Now, bruschetta, you know, this is a simple appetizer that...
Let me pull this one out so we can
Okay.
show everyone.
There we go. Good. This appetizer is something that's popular, it's healthy, and it's easy to do.
It is too easy.
Yeah.
We got this marinating, which looks really good.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, traditionally, a lot of them use buffalo mozzarella,
Yes.
which is wonderful,
Yes.
but it's high fat.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
It's delicious.
It's delicious,
Yeah.
but it's high fat.
And in fact, when you have soft cheeses like buffalo mozzarella, that's generally a clue to you to the fat content. The softer the cheese, the higher in fat it is. And of course, if it's a cheese, that means it's also has cholesterol.
Cholesterol. So
cheese.
we chose
Go
a
ahead.
low-fat skin mozzarella.
Yep. Yep.
Which is really good. You still can enjoy the traditional
Yes.
with a little healthier version. And you know what, Tim? That's what we do here at Memorial Innovations. We try to take original, traditional recipes, but
Yeah.
make them a little healthier version.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so I got me some mozzarella.
And you know
which
what
is
I
really
like?
good.
You know what I like about what you do on this show is you make it so that we can do this at home. I mean, you do things that are easy, that anybody can do.
You know, you could also buy them pre-sliced.
Yep.
You know, so that's a good thing.
And if you were going to do that, you know, if you're going to have a more square slice, you could cut them in diagonals if you wanted to.
Yeah, or if you got a cookie cutter, shape them up when
Oh,
especially when you
okay.
get the little
That's an idea.
baguettes.
Okay.
You know, so we got our tomatoes. Let me
Yeah.
put the brush. This is kind of warm. Let's put it right here, okay,
Okay.
Tim?
All right.
So we'll put a few here. So if you, don't mind,
you see the chef at work here. You know, some people would have just you know, laid all those out, but notice how he's
we're just
making the
arranging it. We want to
design.
make
Yeah.
it nice. I mean, if we got people coming over,
Yeah.
we want to be able to show off on this.
Yeah.
Something so simple. And this is where the fun part comes, Tim.
Okay.
We got some basil, some tomatoes. You know, when you go to the restaurant, you're going to see sometimes they dice it.
Yeah.
and
See,
put it in.
that's what I thought you were going to do. I thought you were going to chop this up.
And I think our recipe said to chop.
Yeah.
But after I got these beautiful tomatoes,
Yeah.
I thought, you
You
know,
decided to do it this way.
I did.
Well, and that's a good lesson on recipes. You know, recipes are always meant to be a guideline. And what you did there is you made an executive decision to make
For
good
presentation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if your tomatoes were not as pretty as these, it'd be better to
Chop
chop
some up, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Maybe just a little black pepper on there.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think, Tim?
It's beautiful. I can't wait till our guests arrive.
Yeah, beautiful.
A good point to make here is that people will say, well, how can I eat this high sodium cheese or this bread, which has, if you look at slices of whole wheat bread or ciabatta bread, relatively speaking compared to fruits or vegetables, it's going to be a higher sodium food. And so how can I include that in my diet? The answer is, when we eat high food sources of potassium like tomato, fresh herbs, grapes, orange, these are all potassium foods. The potassium offsets the sodium, and that's what makes this fit our blood pressure guidelines or our heart guidelines.
Well, that's awesome. That's good to know. Okay, Tim, guess what? It's time for our pasta.
Okay.
One of the most important we talked about also was the pasta al dente.
Al dente, see.
So we did that. We did that earlier. I just kept it in the refrigerator.
Okay.
All right. We cooled it down.
Okay, so you boiled it and then cooled it down.
Then it cooled it down. So I'm going to put it right here for a minute.
And just so everybody remembers, al dente means firm to the bite. And it's an Italian term. And it's the way all Italians eat their pasta. And the reason that you like al dente is because of the mouthfeel, the texture. But the reason our digestive system likes al dente is because it doesn't make our blood sugar rise as fast. More firm makes it rise more gradually.
And I learned that from you.
Yep.
I just like it because of the texture.
It tastes
you know
good,
what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So now we got a little bit of olive oil.
Good. Extra virgin
olive oil.
Okay.
And that was one thing that you brought up also with the olive oil. So maybe next month we'll talk about that.
We may need to talk about that.
Yeah, I thought that was a fascinating little thing that you brought. I got that hot, so I'm going to saute the onions, okay, Tim?
All right.
So always be careful.
You know, in this recipe, you're going to season, it's almost like you're seasoning your pan with onion, huh?
Yes. I'm going to flip my board over because guess what?
What?
We're going to cook chicken.
Okay.
So I'm going to saute, julienne this nice lean chicken breast.
Okay. Not any fat on there.
Not any fat. So we're just going to julienne that because it's going to cook quick.
Well, and what I wanted to point out is that you'll see Chef Manny, you better do that part. You'll see Chef Manny do this same technique over and over, starting with oil, then onion, and then here you're adding a meat, and you're flavoring your dish, basically, okay?
We're going to cook this to like medium, and then we're going to add our mushrooms. Let me rinse my hands real quick.
Okay. Well, this past weekend, I used the same technique in cooking a pot of beans, okay? So in the pot of beans, I actually started with searing the meat, okay? In this case, I didn't want to use ham or bacon, too high sodium. I used instead a lean pork chop. So I seared it on both sides, but then I set it aside, added back to the same pan onion and peppers, softened them, added the rinsed beans, the soaked beans, sorry, added the liquid, which was a vegetable broth, low-sodium vegetable broth, and then cooked the beans until they were soft, and then in the last 30 minutes added back the meat. I learned all that. Now, that's not how I used to cook beans, but I learned
Put it all together and just let it cook. Right?
Yeah. But if I would have done that, if I would have used that pork, that lean pork, and cooked it for the 3 hours to cook those beans, it would have been like pieces of leather. Because the longer you cook lean meat, the harder it gets.
The harder it gets, yeah, definitely. So here's what I did. I added my mushrooms, I added my peppers.
Okay.
Okay, then we have some little sun-dried tomatoes.
Yep. Really flavor-packed there.
Yes.
Really add to this dish.
This is a wonderful dish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Saute this for a minute.
You know, today when you were cooking in the kitchen, you had a
little bit of garlic.
Okay. You had a catering event, and you were cooking what kind of sauce was that you were doing today?
This morning, a Mornay sauce.
A Mornay sauce, yeah. And so earlier, before the show, Randy was asking me, how does he teach you to learn to taste all those different flavors? And I said, well, literally, it was just like this morning. He was cooking this Mornay's, and you gave me a taste, and it's really a trial and error. It's a practice thing. The more you taste, the better you get at tasting different flavors.
So now we added basil. You can smell the basil and the garlic, right? So now it's looking really good.
Yes.
We're waiting for the chicken to cook evenly.
Okay.
Add a little bit of parsley. We'll add later a little bit more.
Okay. Okay, those beans I was telling you about, I have learned that instead of a couple of tablespoons of parsley in cooked dry beans, you know, I used as much as a half a cup of chopped parsley, and it was really good.
Good.
It added color, eye appeal, but more importantly, you got the nutrients of this dark green parsley.
And that is good. Okay?
Beautiful.
A pinch, right, Tim?
Yep.
A pinch of
Yep.
salt, pepper.
You're doing that pretty good. It's because I'm watching, isn't it?
No, I learned from you. I'll take that. Okay, I got my pasta here, Tim.
Okay, all right.
We're going to throw in our
dump
pasta.
that in there, huh?
We're going to saute it nice.
All right.
And then our sauce is going to be made with low-fat.
Actually, fat-free.
Fat-free, I'm sorry. Fat-free.
Fat-free, half and half.
Half and half.
Yeah.
And you can buy it at the store,
That's
local
right.
store.
In fact, you can get fat-free, half and half in the milk section. We got this at Brookshire's. We want to thank Brookshire's for sponsoring our show. And you see us use fat-free, half and half a lot because it's fat-free, and it gives us kind of a cream-like sauce that we can work from.
And that's what we want. And we want a light sauce. Because we want to be able to taste the flavors there are here.
Yep. You know, I can't tell the difference in flavor in this fat-free
It's really
half
good.
and half and the regular.
It's really good. So we're going to let this cook. Now, the reason we did the pasta like this is because we're going to warm up the pasta with.
Yes.
And it brings in flavors too.
Yes. Yes. So you're flavoring the pasta with what you've got in the pan. Okay.
Looks good.
You know, okay, so you're going to add this, and then, but how do you make it? Well, I guess I'm just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the half and half, let it reduce a little bit, and what's going to help us thicken the sauce would be the little Parmesan that we're going to add at the end.
Okay. So there's no flour in this recipe. Okay.
No flour. And like I said, it's going to be a light sauce. So we're going to add this, and then we're going to reduce it, let it cook down a little bit.
Now, see, here again, I'm learning here. Now, I would have tried to, if I was going to look at this, I would have tried to make this a white sauce, where you use milk, I guess, or...
You know, the whole idea of this pasta dish is that you got all these flavors.
Yes.
You don't need too much sauce.
Yeah, you don't want to dilute it.
No,
Okay,
you don't need it.
gotcha.
So we're just going to let it start cooking, reducing down a little bit, and you'll see.
Okay.
As it reduces, Tim,
Yes.
light cream,
Yes.
beautiful.
It makes it kind of thickens.
Thickens up. So we're going to add a little Parmesan.
Okay. All right.
Good.
Good. Beautiful.
That's also going to help it thicken. It also brings the sodium in the pasta.
You know, we were talking about soft cheeses. Well, Parmesan is a hard cheese, and so that's why we use it a lot on the show, because it's lower in fat. Still high in sodium, so use small amounts, but
and small amounts is good.
Yeah, that's right, because it brings flavor to the dish. We'd like to say thanks to Brookshire's, a celebration of food and community. We want to say thank you to Sodexo and to the H.C. Polk Education Center.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, and thanks to our friends at the City of Lufkin for producing and distributing the show. And especially we want to say thanks to you. Because of your input and your support, Memorial Cooking Innovations is still going 4 years later. So, Chef Manny, here we are, 4 years old. What do you want to be when you grow up?
You know, I always wanted to be a fireman.